This is radio like you never heard before. Elegbete TV radio, in entertainment and sport. My name is Frank Idemudia Alapa. That's my name. Talking sports, I am the greatest. I love listening to Elegbete TV radio. For undiluted, unadulterated, it's probably replicated but still not yet duplicated. It's sports only on Elegbete TV radio. I seriously love listening to it.
Hello, everybody. What's up, people? My name is Timmy Dakolo, and you're listening to Elegbete TV radio. Stay tuned.
Elegbete TV radio, redefining broadcasting. Listen.
All right. Good morning and welcome to the Wednesday edition of the Sports Buffet on Elegbete TV Radio. Let me tell you very, very early as we get the kickoff. I think that the show is already a beautiful one. So when I was growing up, let me tell you this thing. I always say, you guys, I went to my school and then I went to quite a lot of secondary schools, right? But when I was growing up, in church, Assemblies of God was the central, the convergence point for all of us. All of us that grew up in that generator, Isileat, was the convergence point where we became, where Soko, Ijo, Shekiri, Yoruba, whatever, all of us became children of the same parents. I was still like that today. Myself, Goduna Munubo, Kara Kari, Tokbe, all of these guys were all Randy Ogbobio, Frank Ayansi, Franconero, all of us. We're not children of the same parents biologically, but we are brothers and sisters like that. And it's a very big pull. The greatest moment of your life is when you're doing presentation in church and your mom or your dad or, is in the crowd. For me, it's when I'm doing this show and probably my brother, one of my brothers are there watching. Hello, Akari, I see you. Yeah. Yes, that's the younger brother of the legendary, iconic Robert Akari that I always tell you guys about. He's all the way in Qatar. And he's watching today. So good to have him here. Good to have you, Caro. And guys, you know how it is. Today is going to be, another moment to talk about a lot of things. And I was thinking of going straight to Ijabol, calling him. I'm saying football conversation that is really, really, it's not thought-provoking, but annoying, disgustingly annoying. The way people look at it. So I was thinking of calling a coach. And let's talk about this new word. One of the things that I've noticed with people is that, and please, why do we have 20 people viewing and only 4 like? Please click on the like button. I beg in the name of God. Okay? One of the things that I've noticed with people is that the herd mentality is beginning to become really, really too much. So what do I mean by that? People now do not think for themselves anymore, right? They just respond because other people are saying it, so it means they should say it. When people say things, I remember one of the into media, like I always told you guys, is that I saw this thing in New York where it is written, whoever controls information controls the balance of power. And that's when I decided, this is what I want to do. I want to do media for a living. I want to do media for the rest of my life. I want to control information. I want to have the ability to tell the true story. And then it got me deep into research. I started every story that I've been told before, everything like the Mary Slessor stuff, the killing of twins, I said, that's not true. Christopher Columbus discovering America, that's not true. Mungo Park discovering the River Niger, that's not true. And so many stories. So it got me paranoid to the point where nothing anybody says is true. It's also what got me into that place where, I don't believe the church, right? I mean, I for a kid who grew up in the church, I stopped believing in the church because there are more lies in the church than outside. I mean, you could get more truth from a babalawo than a pastor. Like I always say to you, if you want to do business and somebody say, trust me, I'm a man of God, my brother, run, because scam is about to go down, right? I always say that to you guys. But having said that, I'm in a place now where I question everything. I just take things. Even if I'm saying it, question it. Use your own thinking. So people say dark art, but then there is also this thing that I know. Everybody wants you to succeed until you start succeeding. Let that sink in. Everybody to be successful until you start getting success. And you see hatred and people wanting to pull you down, people wanting to judge you, people wanting to drag you down. And then that's exactly how I look at it. Because let's take Arsenal as a case study. When Arsenal was playing open football, we went to Manchester United, Arsene Wenger versus Sir Alex Ferguson. You obviously know that the team does not stand a chance against Wayne Rooney, Young, Nani, Jesus Park, and the rest of them. But we went on playing the beautiful football to entertain the crowd. How did it end? 8-2. Arsenal lost. So today is still a talking point. Arsenal versus Chelsea, Jose Mourinho versus Arsene Wenger. Eden Hazard was in the form of his life. Arsenal had a few injury worries. The team is not good. Instead of playing a system that would give you ability to curtail the rampage in Chelsea, we went gung-ho. How did it end? 6-0. But people were happy. You know why? People want you to succeed, remember, until you start succeeding. Arsenal had Aubameyang, Lacazette, and all these guys. Aubameyang even went as far as winning the highest goal scorer award, but Arsenal ended up in 8th position or 6th or 7th position. That's not a problem to anybody. That's fine. So whatever Arsenal does, it's not a problem. Just the same way Spurs. Spurs can play all the open play, all the beautiful play from back and all that. For as long as they are not threatening the throne, it's okay. But guess what? Arsenal went from ending in 8th position twice, ending in 5th, and then becoming second again, closing the gap. And now, the same football that Arsenal played last season, where Arsenal was rewarded for having the best defense line, and we have the goalkeeper of the season, the Golden Glove winner, where, the two center-back of Arsenal is now being compared to Rio Ferdinand and Jaap Stam, or Rio Ferdinand, Nemanja Vidic, John Terry and Carvalho, and all of that. That's Gabriel Magalhaes and Saliba. Now that same team plays a defensive system. Hold on, wait a minute. This team that we're calling dark art, okay? This team that we're calling dark art scored 2 goals against the best team in one of the best team in the world. The 2 best team in the world right now. You call Madrid and Man City. Scored 2 goals and held up for the whole duration of the game. But now it is dark art because they did not open up for them to be raped, for them to be beaten 6-0. Let's be very honest. When the game started, the first 15 minutes of the game, Arsenal were open. What did you see? Lucky Ogali, thank you very much for joining our members, silver membership. You're welcome. Beyond that, Arsenal opened up and Erling Haaland scored, right? Last season, Arsenal went to the Etihad and played a very defensive style of play. And when we drew at the Etihad, having gone there for like 9 years, not winning one single game, losing 3-0, 4-0, 5-0 like that. Now, they said last season was because Arsenal didn't have the mentality. This game ended. Let's put all these things in their chronological order. This game ended with a 2-2 draw that Man City was celebrating that they equalized in the very last minute through John Stones. And Arsenal now, the way to rubbish Arsenal is to psychologically destroy them, morally destroy them by saying, oh, it's a dark art of football, it's a dark art of football. Well, we're not in this Premiership where Stoke City played in the Premier League. Well, we're not in this Premiership when so good they named him twice, Jeje of Kocha and Bolton Wanderers, they played in the Premiership. What kind of football was Sam Allardyce playing? Well, we're not in this Premiership when Mick McCarthy and his Wolves played in this Premier League. Are we forgetting all of a sudden? Now let's talk about some of the teams that like to play expansive, beautiful, open football. Swansea City. Remember that team? Some of you guys are young and you just started following Premier League like 2 seasons ago. But those of you who remember Swansea, they came in, they said they were the Madrid from Cardiff. That's what they were called. We had white jerseys. They were the Madrid from Cardiff. Madrid are top in Spain. Swansea are somewhere swimming in relegation. They are not back again because of that kind of football. The way I was taught how to play football, one of the players that I coach is here, Kari. The way I was taught, I play expansive football. Anything that Pep Guardiola is doing now, I've done it before. So it's not like it's new. The people don't play this type of football since. Pep Guardiola did not reinvent football the way everybody's thinking. But let's get past that. You play your opponent based on what you have and based on the ability you have. The word dark art is not related to football. It's not a football language. It's not a related thing. So all those of you that are using the word dark art all of a sudden, it's not related to football. Because the English media foolishly use it does not mean everybody now should be jumping on it. Oh, the way people used to say, hey, Pep Guardiola is a fraud. Pep Guardiola is overthinking. Sometimes think for yourself. Sometimes use your own brain. Sometimes think well. Man City should blame themselves for playing against a team that is one man down for 45 whole minutes plus added time, and they couldn't win. Now, instead of it to be a case of Man City not knowing that, because it was all romance, no penetration. Well, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, because other teams will play low block and beat Man City. Because this is what we're not getting to realize that, oh, okay, so a well-organized low block would make Man City impotent. Now, let's go back to the start of the season. This season started with Man City coming out at everybody like a house on fire. So let's look at these fixtures a bit and see some of the things that I need to point out. When the season started, this was how Man City was like. First season, who did they even play, Seth? Let's start with that. January. No, that's not what we're supposed to do. August. The season started with Man City playing against who? Ipswich Town, right? They came out to play the kind of football that needed to be played. Or no, it started with Chelsea. They played Chelsea. Chelsea was not solid in defense. They were just trying to find their feet. 2-0. Oh, what a great football club. Man City. All hail the great Man City. They went home and they hosted Ipswich Town. How did it end? 4-1. And it's because Ipswich Town were trying to play matchup for matchup. And it ended in favor of Man City. Haaland scored a hat-trick, if I'm not mistaken. And then they went away to the London Stadium, played against West Ham. West Ham, Julian Lopetegui also wanted to play expansive football. He ended with another Haaland hat-trick, 3-1. And then Bradford, they played against Bradford. It was 2-1. Haaland scored a double. They played against Inter Milan at home. It was 0-0. That was not a dark art. And 2-2 against Arsenal. All of a sudden, it's dark art. Are we saying that coaches should ignore? Last night, we saw Watford play against Man City. 2-1 it ended. Why did Watford lose? They were trying to play from the back and they made mistakes and concede goals that they shouldn't have conceded. That's a game that they should have won or probably gotten a draw out of. But guess what? They decided, no, we're not going to play the dark art. So we're going to play like Man City. You want to play a master to beat them in their game? No. What happened? Man City won. I guess on the 28th of on the 28th of September, which is on Saturday, 12:30, Newcastle will sit at home and then try to play expansive football again because everyone will be entertained. When that happens, we will see what the result will be. I'm sure you can play Man City expansive football, playing from the back and beat them. And then that time, Haaland would add more goals to his goals and then everything will be beautiful. Listen, there is no such thing as dark art in football. The thing about football is you play a system that would help you to gain points, especially in league situation. If it means playing dirty, if Arsene Wenger played the so-called dark art in football, Arsene Wenger would have had probably 5 to 6 Premier League titles, because the truth is there are titles that Arsene Wenger lost that shouldn't have been lost. Okay? Quite a lot of titles. But guess what? He wanted to play the Arsenal way, the Wenger way. And then that's not football. You sit and you play football and you look at your squad. You say, this is the squad that we have. Even the Bible, Jesus said, what man goes to war without first counting his of the opposition and decide whether I have to meet them halfway and sue for peace or we can go for war. Okay. Japan came with gun and flying and pilots to war with America. What did America bring? Atomic bomb. Hiroshima and Nagasaki. It's not always fair. It's not entertainment. It is a war. It's warfare. And football is warfare. It's not meant to be fair. And so some sending messages to my DM, and what do you have to say about Arsenal's dark art? All this one, that is revelation about their dark art. Come on, shut up. It's not dark art anywhere. Look at all the teams that have been winning titles. Every time there is a team coming close to challenge them, there is always enmity. Look at it carefully. Man United was winning the Premier League. They were the best team. Arsene Wenger came in, and before you know it, Arsenal won the double. Arsenal was a threat to them. They became a rivalry. That rivalry just died off immediately. Man U and Arsenal stopped winning, challenging for title. They were no longer enemies anymore. They were not playing and laughing and hugging each other. That's one. Then Chelsea became the dominant team. Chelsea that Arsenal have been winning for 10 years, and there is always never a problem. Next to no problem. When Mourinho came in and then Chelsea started beating Arsenal, what happened? All of a sudden, Mourinho and Chelsea became the enemies because the last sheriff in town was Arsenal. And then you see that rivalry. Once Chelsea started beating Arsenal regularly, that whole rivalry between Arsenal and Chelsea died off. Okay, now City came into the party and started dominating. First off, the rivalry was between City and Liverpool. Liverpool, that is originally Man United rival, became City and Liverpool. Jurgen Klopp is doing underhand tactics. Jurgen Klopp will accuse Pep Guardiola. He's doing underhand tactics. Now, Moshe apprentice, the sorcerer's apprentice, is now at Arsenal, a club that nobody expected to do well. Even though they say, "Oh, you should win the title, you should win." Everybody else, you never win title. Now they are hustling to win the title. Everybody is now, picking on them. Again, I go back to my statement at the beginning. Everybody wants you to be successful until you really start aiming for that success, and then you see the venom, the vileness, and the evil of people. Right? Everybody wants you to win. Last season, what's it called? Rodri said Arsenal should come with a winning mentality. They came with a winning mentality now. All of you are complaining again. I don't understand. Everybody's now, Arsenal is using dark art. They should be investigated. People will get 150 can charges where they never even investigate and finish. Now, what to be dark art, I beg. I mean, people will know football. What to be dark art? How do you explain the word dark art to anybody? Like, the dark art. What does it even mean? You understand? What does it even mean to have dark art? It was a dark art. What is there to be the dark art? This is what I'm trying to figure out. Like, what do you mean when you say somebody is using the dark art in football? I've not been able to figure it out. If you know, please tell me. Right? So I'm going to go to a coach. I mean, this is a coach that in Nigeria, I mean, you know me, I'm not really respective of a lot of the coaches in Nigeria, but this one, I've seen his football. I've tasted and seen. It's one of the coaches who do not need big name to win matches. Who's been there? When you look at the size of his team, you could actually say that, look, these small boys are not even supposed to be at the top of the league. Every season, they are in the top two. They've represented Nigeria on the continent. Yeah, they may not have gone progressing to the group stage, but it's done well. And he's carved a style of football for himself that we not call Ijabol. Another reason why I respected him is not one of those, I want to be Pep Guardiola, call me Baby Pep or Baby Mourinho. No, he's carved a style of football, a brand of football for himself. If Pep is tiki-taka, he is Ijabol. And he is educated in the act of coaching. And maybe my coaching school that I went to is so still. I want to go to Ijabol and bring him on the show. Hello, Coach Daniel Ogumadele, the coach of Remo Stars, is the person I'm talking about. Coach, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you and how's your team?
I'm fine, are you?
I'm fantastic. Coach, I have a little worry, and you know how they say that if you want to know the story of a community, you go to the elders. I'm sorry, it's not about age. Right now in football in Nigeria, you are part of the elders, the group of elders. And when you speak, we're supposed to listen. Please, there is a new word that has just been invented in football. It is called dark art. I don't know if dark art. After the Arsenal versus Man City game, they said Arsenal used the dark art of football. When I was growing up, dark art is voodoo, is witchcraft. But now they've invented it. But now it is the talk of the town that Arsenal use dark art. So I'm wondering whether Arsenal use juju, or they use otumokbo, or they use Mendy, or they use Itagba. But I want to know from you, Coach, Me too. When I was growing up and when I played in the league or went to go and play anywhere, one of the things that I know in football is that you set up your team based on your strength and based on the opponent, not necessarily to entertain people. If they get entertained in the course of the process of the game, fine. But if they don't get entertained, no big deal. The most important thing is that you win or you get a point for your team. So, I don't know if you watched the Arsenal versus Man City game. Did you?
No, I didn't because I was having a match that day.
Oh, okay. But I mean, long story short, Arsenal played the first half. They were leading 2-1, and at the end of the first half, Leandro Trossard was given a red card, and they were playing at Etihad, which is Man City ground. And somewhere along the line, Arsenal came back in the second half and became ultra defensive. Remember, Arsenal's strength from last season is that they are the most defensive team, the best defense in the league. So they decided to use the superpowers that they have. But now everybody is saying it's negative football, it's dirty football. Please, what is your understanding of negative football from you, sir?
Negative football for me is aggressive tackles from opponents to break legs. In my opinion.
So if I choose to play low block, is that negative football?
It's called tactic. It's tactic.
Thank you very much, coach. So if I do not have the strength to match you man for man, am I allowed to sit back and soak up the pressure and hope that I can hit you on the counter or just protect my lead if possible?
Of course, if you are wise enough, you need to do that.
So it is actually wisdom to sit back and protect your lead, right?
It's profitable. Wisdom is profitable.
Oh God, coach. I don't know that you're a pastor's child, but you're sounding like a pastor's child right now. So, coach, you guys have won exactly the number of away matches you won last season in just the first 4 weeks of this season, and you guys have an outstanding game. What is the secret? I remember you on the 54 Football X podcast with Coach Fidelis Ilechukwu. You said they are building and they have won the league. You too, you want to bring your bricklayer and start building so that you can win the league. Is that where we're heading to this season?
Yeah, we'll try to bring the contractor to start our own building. Like I said in that podcast, I said it's like people that are building are the one winning the league. You know? So maybe we need to just adopt building and we'll see where that will take us.
Arsenal and Man United have been building for 4 to 5 years now. They've not won anything. No. But another thing that that gets me excited is the fact that some of the star players that played last season for you have not started playing regularly. One of them is your top goal scorer from last season who lost the Golden Boot on the final day. Sikiru Alimi. It's not really common to play this season, but you're still scoring, you're still winning games. Should other teams in the league be worried?
Sikiru had an injury before the season ends, and it took him a long time. It's not easy. He's just coming back. No doubt about it. He's a very important player for me. Very, very key. That every other players in that position relies so much on his experience and the way he carry up the young ones. This is very, very encouraging for the lads. And that's the secret behind our scoring even, because this is a player that is a thoroughbred professional.
Okay, so somebody in Ikorodu, Demola Ibrahim Abiodun, who tagged himself your number one supporters, is in Ikorodu. He said he is supporting you to win the league this season, and if you win the league, he will trek from Ikorodu to Abuja to celebrate. What do you have to say to him?
Well, I think that's a long distance. That's a very long distance, and well, we are going to. If that is what he wants, we are going to give it to him.
Let's beg him. Let's beg him to trek from Ikorodu to Ikene. That distance is.
Ikene, because when there is light, there is hope.
We don't want him to go and die on the road.
Exactly.
All right, thank you very much. Yes, sir, what?
Check for me. You can us.
Okay, Abiadu, you've heard that one. Thank you very much, Coach. To break into your very busy schedule this morning. The show continues. Have for yourself a wonderful day, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
And I thank you, Daphne, for all you have done to football, for the image of football in this country. Your tremendous work.
Thank you very much.
I would like to thank you and tell you not to give up, to continue.
I don't they give up, oh bros. I don't they give up. The frustration not too much. I don't they give up.
Frustration there everywhere, but don't give up. We need to make together we can always be better. Our football, our league. We just need to insist, we need to insist. You've done so well, and I'm so proud of what you've done in time past. And
thank you.
Hopefully we'll be able to do more and more and more and more, okay? I pray God re-energize every one of us, re-energize you, and give you the courage to continue to do more.
All right, thank you very much, Coach. Mona win the league for me. I really see. I have one of your jersey that I have saved, the one that they sent to me. I've saved it, waiting for the day people win that league, and I will wear it to do show and all that. I've not worn that jersey once. Please, Mona win the league for me this season. Please.
Because we are working day and night to do that.
All right, thank you very much, Coach. That is Coach Daniel Ogumodede of Remo Stars, the Ijabo Corona, a man who prides himself. I mean, if you go and watch the interview we had with him, it tells the story of how he went from wanting to play football to an appendix operation that was not well done. That stopped me. I used to see people say, common appendix operation. My mother died at the age of 52, but the complications that came into her life started in 1989, where Dr. Sajili, Good News Hospital in Isiliat, did appendix operation for my mom. So this is the story. They did the operation. It was supposed to be a routine thing, but my mother became an experimental product, lab rat for Dr. Sajili and Nurse Grace, Iseka Igbe and the other people. And they forgot scissors in my mother's stomach, and she came back, and then she had to be rushed back again when there was pus and swollen and everything. After 4 days, she went back. Now they removed it. This is where you now say village people was involved, but I don't believe in that stuff, right? So they did the surgery again. They removed the scissors. This time they forgot Gus. You know what Gus? Those who they forgot Gus again in her stomach again, and then she came back, and then we have to rush her back again. They have to reopen her up again, and bring out the Gus that is soaked with blood and pus and all that. Well, when they finish, remember it's their mistake. We've actually paid the first bill and all that. This time around, we didn't have money. They still had my mom down, and my mom had to be moved from the bed to be sleeping on the bed floor. Yeah, took on that 21 days of me. In 1989, I was kind of like 11 going to 12, right? Was around August of 1989. And long story short, I had to go. That's when pushing of wheelbarrow was the thing. The boy became a man. Hustle. Got the money. It was 15,000 naira that needed to be paid. But 15,000 naira felt like 1.5 million or probably 15 million naira at the time anyway. And we paid, and then my mom came home. But she was never the same again, right? After that time, she was never the same. Remember, in all of this, she was pregnant with our last born, Oganero. So, appendix. And so, Ijabo also tells the story of her appendix, probably not well done, stop her from playing football and, not giving up on football, become a coach. Is a symbol of what good coaching is about in Nigeria. And I hope that he wraps it up by winning the league and probably going to the continent and also going very far. I think that Shoname have done well investing in the league, investing in his club. There are some things that can be done right, some things that can change. But hey, it is what it is. We support them, and I thank him for being on the show today. For those of you who are out there, let's come back to the conversation. Let's come back to what we're saying. Like I said earlier on, you guys have got to, bring up the conversation. People are still talking. Prosco Reviews is been disappointed with Arsenal's start to the season. As Man United legend, I liked the one area they've been poor, despite the Gunners not losing a game. And I want to ask this question: are you disappointed at Arsenal? And if you are, what is this at Arsenal? Arsenal is fourth on the league table, yes, but they're not far. They played against Man City away. They played at Tottenham Hotspur away. And in those two games, they pick up 4 points. Okay, they dropped points at home against Brighton and one against Aston Villa. But, I mean, would you say you're disappointed at Arsenal? Was that an expectation on Arsenal? They've also gone to Atalanta in the Champions League and drawn a game. Is that a type of expectation you have for Arsenal that they've not lived up to that's making you feel disappointed? What is the thing about Arsenal that's all of a sudden giving people the confidence that they should be at the number one position in the league? Remember, 2 seasons ago, Arsenal was on top of the league for 247 days. They still ended up not winning the league title. There was like about 8 or so points between them and Man City. Last season, Liverpool stayed up on top of the league longer than ended up as 87 days to be precise. They didn't win the league. They ended up in third position. They were not called butlers. Now, this season is just starting. Again, Man City have not started any season this good in forever. Okay, if we're going to follow fact, Man City don't start the season that good. They start very slowly, and then in November they pick up. But look at Man City blistering on off front. Aston Villa, getting favors here and there, diving to win a Carabao Cup game, but nobody's talking about them. Arsenal, people are disappointed. What is it about Arsenal that's making people to believe that they are supposed to be on the disappointment coming? Is the disappointment coming from, they should have signed a striker? They didn't. Is that disappointment? Or looking at Arsenal, your creative player Odegaard is injured. Merino that you sign in, Mikel Merino that you sign in to shut up the left side of midfield is also injured, is not coming. Calafiori played a game first time with Martinelli, and you saw that the game of Martinelli improved, even against a team that is incredibly difficult to play against. And people are acting disappointed. What's really the thing about Arsenal that is disappointing people? Maybe I'm being emotional, I'm being sentimental, my judgment is clouded. Your opinion would help me on that. Now let's go to yesterday's Carabao Cup games results. I don't know if you're pleased with all the results. And matches in other league in Italy, Atalanta were disappointing. Victor Moses came. Lookman, I keep calling him Victor Moses. Ademola Lookman came in the 55th minute, and in the 90th plus 6 minutes, he scored a goal, but it was too little, too late, as Kalasini considered an own goal. And Como, of all team, okay, to have to put that in context. For instance, the reserve bench of Atalanta would buy the entire Como team. And all of a sudden, Como came, saw, and they conquered. This is their first win of the season, and it's against Atalanta. It's crazy. You look at the Italian Serie A, Torino are on top. Napoli are second, 1 point behind them. Udinese, with Nigerian goalkeeper Maduka Okoye in third position. Almighty Juventus that we are expected to be at the top, even though they've not lost a game, just like Torino, so the two Turin teams and Empoli as well have not lost a single game this season. Those are the 3 teams in the Italian Serie A that have not lost. But AC Milan and Inter Milan are way down. Inter in 6th and AC Milan in 7th, Lazio in 8th, Roma in 9th. But then the teams that are up there, Empoli in 5th, Juventus in 4th, Udinese in 3rd, Napoli in 2nd, Torino, who would have expected Torino, come on, to be in that position? It's a bit surprising, even though Ratigu, the guy who missed the penalty, Matthew Ratigu, who missed the penalty against Arsenal, is the top goal scorer so far with 4 goals, just the same way as Turavakos Turam at 4 goals, 0 assists, and Pulisic of AC Milan have 3 goals, and then Tuvin have 3 goals for Udinese. But hey, it is what it is. It's early days, pretty early days, nothing to worry about, so people say. But he go fall. That's why the so we have to be very sure about that one. Sevilla were at home against Valladolid, and it was 2 goals to 1 as they secured a win, even with a red card to one of their players. Venezia and Osasuna played at a goalless draw. Real Madrid were not interested in all those Alaves conversation, because for them, people can say whatever they want. Vinicius Jr. assisted Lucas in the first minute of the game. Jude Bellingham assisted Kylian Mbappe in the 40th minute of the game, and 3 minutes of the restart. Lucas, who was a recipient of an assist from Vinicius Jr. in the first minute of the game, assisted Rodrigo to make it 3-0. And then they were coasting, and it felt like it was an easy one. But in the 85th minute, Benavides made it 3-1, and then Benavides assisted Garcia to make it 3-2 in the 86th minute. Just 2 goals scored in a space of 1 minute, and that brought the game to a very tense and nervy end. And the coach had to make some substitution as Garcia came in for Vinicius Junior, and they were able to hold on for a 3-2 win. But Madrid were shaking a bit. I don't know if that is making Lucky Ogali happy, because he's a Madrid fan. But in my own opinion, when you're winning, you're winning. And looking at the table, but even though Barcelona have a game in hand, they are still on top with 18 points, and they won all their 6 games, scoring 22 goals and conceding 5. Well, Real Madrid have played 7, 1 game more, 17 points. They've won 5, drawn 2. They've still not lost a single game. There are 3 teams in the league this season that have not lost: FC Barcelona, Real Madrid, and Atletico de Madrid. We've also played 6 games this season, and they've won 3, drawn 3. They've got 12 points. Surprise, surprise, Inaki Williams' team have played 7, won 4, drawn 1, and lost 2, but they are in 3rd position on the league table. Maybe if Atletico Madrid does win their next game, their game in hand, they will go up there to 3rd. But to see Athletic Bilbao up there, it's not a position that they're used to. It's a very interesting one. Well, if you look at the goal scorers chart with the Spanish La Liga, it is Lewandowski 6 goals, 2 assists, and Rafinha 5 goals, 2 assists. Kylian Mbappe 5 goals, 1 assist. A lot of those goals coming from the penalty spots, but whatever it is, sometimes it matters a lot that you can bury those penalties. So that's how it is over there. Well, in the Carabao Cup, or the League Cup in England, as some of you guys call it, Chelsea is not. This is the reason why Chelsea is in the conversation. I asked the question: are Chelsea the dark horse of the Premier League this season? For one, Chelsea put up a different 11 from the one that started and won 3 over the weekend, and still the wheelbarrow pusher came in. They came in with their wheelbarrow, and they were smashed by a wrecking ball of Chelsea by 5 goals to nothing. João Felix assisted Christopher Nkunku for the first goal. Marlon Gusto assisted him for the second goal. First goal was in the 8th minute. The second goal was in the 15th minute. Faman P considered an own goal, and then just 3 minutes of the restart in the second half, Mikhailo Modric gave a pass to Neto to make it 4 goals to nothing. And then Nkunku was saying, long start this time, 75th minutes, a minute before he was substituted by Gu, scored his hat-trick, and it was beautiful as substitution started to rain in. Nkunku scored and then immediately was substituted. Chukwuemeka came in for João Felix, but that's all she wrote. 5 goals to nothing. Chelsea won that one. And the Carabao Cup, as we're hearing, Man City and Arsenal are saying they are not interested in it already. They might not play. Arsenal definitely will play a weekend squad. Even the City say that I was saying that they were not interested. They find a way to win Watford by 2 goals to 1. Warsaw and Leicester City. Leicester, got that one by the odd goal on penalties, because it ended 0-0 in 90 minutes and went into penalties. Warsaw missed all first 3, and Leicester scored all 3. Welcome back, Aston Villa. This one was a game that, you look at the game and you say, if you want to talk about Dakar, this is the Dakar. John Duran dived, in my opinion. People might have a different view of it, but that's my opinion. If you saw the game, tell me what you think. But Chelsea are the team to talk about today on the show. Now look at the starting 11 for Chelsea. We could go back to the lineup of the game they played on the weekend, and you look at that team and you say to yourself, there's nobody in this squad who played in the weekend from the starting. Okay, Chelsea had a full squad that had in goal. They have Jorgensen and Vera started on the left hand side, but Chile and Disasi were the 2 center back. Marlon Gusto was on right full back, and then you have Drewsbury, Hall, and Casado in that plays is it Casadai or whatever his name is in the pivot position in midfield, and then you have Mikhailo Modric, Joao Felix, and Neto behind Nkunku. But still, Chelsea scored 5 goals. Looking at them in the league, you could say to yourself that Chelsea are not far off the chasing pack, and everybody is underrating them and saying, "Oh, it's not Chelsea. There's nothing they can do." But that could be the costliest mistake for everybody who is underrating them. In my own opinion, underrate Chelsea at your own peril. They are in 5th position. They've played 5 games. They've won 3, drawn 1, and lost 1. That one game was the first game of the season against Man City. Since then, they've gone on to win, draw, and win 2 on the bounce. At Chelsea, the dark horse of the Premier League this season. At Chelsea, that one team that everybody should look out for. Even though my friend Bobby thinks that Man United will make the top 4, unfortunately, they don't look like it. They don't look like they are a team that will make the top 4. Remember, today also we will have the Europa games. A lot of games will go down. Manchester United play at home against 20 and today. But then the fixtures for that, my former club, Esbjerg, are playing tonight away to AZ Alkmaar. Bodo Glimt are playing at home against FC Porto. Anderlecht are hosting Ferencváros. And then you have Dynamo Kiev are playing their football versus Park. Ludogorets, are playing against Slava Prague. And then you have Manchester United hosting 20th of the Netherlands. Midtjylland playing against Offenheim. Nice hosting Real Sociedad. Nobody committed suicide there anyway. But then that's the way it will be in the European game. And then in the Spanish La Liga, Barcelona will host Getafe. Another win for them will take them to 21 points, if I'm not mistaken. And then you have Girona hosting last season's surprise team, hosting Rayo Vallecano. Let's see how that one goes. For the betting fans that are always asking me what should they bet on, I really don't know for now. I'm still looking at it slowly and considering all of the dramas coming with VAR. Like I always say, stay away from English league, English football right now. But then in the EFL Cup, Arsenal, I can bet you, I've not played against Bolton Wanderers for like 12 or so years. The last time they played was 0-0. Going to have to host them 7:45 tonight at the Emirates. Bolton Wanderers are coming. Does look like Arsenal are in a hurry to eliminate themselves. I know for sure that Arsenal are going to use a lot of youth players, but then it's a massive fixtures. Liverpool versus West Ham. West Ham have not been doing well. Would Julian Lopetegui use this one to try to surprise any slot, or one Premier League team will be knocked out of the FA Cup tonight? So let's see how that goes. That's all the game that we have in the conversation. But having said that, let me come to you guys now, because you guys are the king of the show. Like I always say, from the interview we had with the coach of Remo Stars and the conversation that have been on the ground, it's Chelsea the dark horse for the race. And then what is the meaning of the very, very unreasonable word that is flying in football? Dark art. What is dark art in football? What's your understanding? Should I go out there and play to impress the crowd and impress my opponent and lose? Or should I do whatever it takes? Isn't that the principle of life? It all comes down to he who wants it bad enough. And if you want it bad enough, you will do whatever it takes to get it done. Okay? Be Machiavellian in your approach to life. Isn't that what we were taught? And all of a sudden, when people are Machiavellian in the reality of life, everybody start having opinions. But then let's see what you guys have got to say. Sawolu Babajide says, good morning, Ogami. Believe your night was restful. I did send a direct message to you on your TikTok account. I've not gone. The funny thing is, sometimes I don't even go like around there, but I will check. Okay? I will check and get it. And having said that, someone reached out to me. So we're going to have a little bit of a have mercy on me kind of situation this weekend. Somebody sent me a message and said, let me even read the message. She's a lady, a mother of 3 kids. She's a teacher. She's not been paid for a while. She's doing a course that needs to upgrade her so that she can try get a job in a better place. But somehow she's struggling. Her children can't go back to school. She's watched my show quite a few times, and she's seeking for me and my community to help her any way we can. Any way we can. So I replied, I said, I'm not that autonomous enough to take a decision and say, oh, yes, we'll do it. So I'll come today and ask the people in the community, should I collect the woman's number and post it tomorrow so that you people, I cannot details, and post it tomorrow so that you people credit her as best as you can, so that she can even say food to you, because beyond children going back to school, she's struggling to put food on the table for her children. Sometimes these things are hard. So is this something you guys want us to do, or how do you want it to be done? Put your comment or suggestion in the comment section. Let's see how it goes. We'll become a community. We would ride or die in this space. Bumi also sent a message. I'll read it as we go, but let me continue with the conversation. So a little Babajide says, sequel to the topic, Pep said last night in a post-match interview that he does not expect anybody to play his style of football, that everybody should do what works for them per time, right? He praised Arteta and said that Arsenal defending was excellent. I think it's the British media that is making news out of the Man City Arsenal match. These guys are friends. And then Sam Allardyce praised Arsenal and said that dark art is part of football. He once remember Rafa Benitez reporting him to PGMOL that he was using dark art on the pitch and he wasn't penalized. Sawole Babajide wanted to say, you said something yesterday. Every team will bring forward their best foot. Arsenal is best on defense, while City is best on attack. 2 cancel 4. Simple. Now water, they keep fire. Lobaton, that's exactly how he said it. And I have Philip Honoro there. Say good morning, brother. Good morning to you. Thanks to all the members. They are gathering today and they're making the show exciting. I like it when I see the members. But please, guys, click on the like buttons. We have 40 people viewing and we have only 17. Like, strange anyway that I keep saying it every day. But then I have no choice. I have to say it. If you've not subscribed to the channel, please do well to subscribe to it. And DJ Lafama, one of our major member in this group, says, this useless talk of dark art na nonsense. How can you enter into a game and set your team up to fail? Why do you think Poch was heavily criticized from beginning of the season till he got things right? Philip Honoré said, people want you to succeed until you start succeeding, then hatred coming. That's the truth. I mean, study yourself, study the people around you. Everybody wants you to get to the top. Everybody wants you to grow. Then start growing. Start growing. I'm looking forward to the day when me and Murphy would have a call, a Zoom call that I will put out here. I will talk about a lot of things because a lot of people really don't know what happened where we used to work, and some of the things we will talk. Okay, it's not going to be that kind of honest bunch thing, but we will share our truth. And you know, one of the things that makes me laugh these days when I see people make tweets or posts about my former place of work, Brilla FM, is that when I left Brilla, I mean, I was one of those people. I always say that my pain is my pain. I don't go out crying about my pain. First off, if you hurt me and I don't say anything, you should worry. I always say that to people. And it is not easy to understand. But if you know worry, you know the landscape of worry, if you know anybody who grew up in worry, ask them. And people mistake a fruit for worry. I'm talking of worry. Energy junction to MPA, Waterside, the whole worry environment. One of the most dangerous neighborhood in worry is where I grew up. I have seen violence from when I came back from the UK till I left that town. I have seen it all. You understand me? I've got 99 problems. Man ain't one of them. I always say that. So when I left, the way and manner in which I left, and in history, I'm the only person who they required a 4-hour full company meeting to fire. 4 hours of lamentation, of trying to find a way to put the word. 4 hours from 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock. And they still did not put the word. Actually, in reality, I'm the one who walked out on them. But it is a sack. Let's give them the glory of the sack. But my point is, I remember 2 weeks after when people find out, they're not sacking up. I know people online celebrating good radiance to bad rubbish, blah, 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 blah. And I remember I replied one guy. I said, I give this organization, this thing that you're saying now, the thing is, sometimes people don't know the pillar upon which their building is standing. Have you ever watched those TikTok videos or YouTube video where somebody's cutting a tree and he doesn't know what side to cut it, the tree breaks, and then the person who's cutting the tree gets injured, right? Sometimes people don't know. You understand? Everybody thinks they're smart. And it's life, good radiance. Not every radiance is bad rubbish. Some radiance are the pillar that holds it. And, we left. But that's not the problem. Our living and what has happened thereafter is not the problem. It is the rot within the system and the way people... I've not seen a system where your own teammates are working to wreck you. And the reason your offense is that you are too good at what you do, you come early, you don't have query, you don't have... people are just angry that you are efficient, you are just very good at what you do. Proficient and efficient and all that. But hey, it is what it is. Life goes on, so we keep pushing one step at a time. Edition of says, I will take a pragmatic coach all day. It's war. You put up your areas of strength against your opposition while coming up with strategy to neutralize their weapons. It's as simple as that. That's what coaching is all about. If you play football, street football, everybody is entertaining. But when you now put a coach in the saddle to manage that team, my brother, I played against one team in a college one time, and the biggest mistake I ever made in my coaching. The small time that I coached. The Nere boys were not a team, they were just a street side. But what I didn't realize was these guys who are not getting paid will do anything to kill these guys who are getting paid. We played them. First 45 minutes, we were 4 goals down. Nothing we did. We lost that game 4 goals to nothing. Yeah. Because we went into that game with this, them. Even me, I was arrogant, these selected boys. We're helping them we're raising their profile by giving them a game. It was good. It was a friendly game, but it was a good lesson. I never repeated this every game. Like when Mourinho said, never again. That is never going to happen again. It became the team that nobody wants to play because play us at your own peril. We will run you out of the park. Play us at your own peril. Junior Jaramax team. Come play us now. It's crazy. And people need to understand. You set up your team in the way that you will get the best results. It doesn't matter. Using the language dark art is just foolish as far as I'm concerned. Because I don't see where a Girona, for instance, wants to go and play Madrid and say, okay, let's go all gung-ho, let's go all out. Okay, go all out, Abi. You go all out. Okay, now. When they beat you 7-0, you'll not say going all out. It's not good. Henry Morris said, bros, no bully wants to see his or our bullies standing up to them. Okay? That is just it. Nobody wants to see Arsenal progress. So anything they do to threaten the throne will be seen as a haram. I agree with you on that one. So Olubabajide says, I can't forget that Manchester United versus Arsenal 8-2 match. I had migraine for 5 days. Till now, I can't forget. That's the point. So Ateta is stopping people from having migraine for 5 days, and people say it's dark art. Additionally, say Arsenal even made the game more exciting with the sub start from Arsenal. They still scored 2 great goals against the so-called attacking Man City. Please, this talk nonsense from the press. Lucky Ogale say, thank you, bros. This is a great forum and I enjoy every bit here. Thank you so much for joining the members, and I really do appreciate, honestly speaking, I do appreciate the rallying round of this channel is making me excited. I want the channel to grow fast. There's a whole lot of content that I want to do. There's a lot of things that I want to do. I want to travel around the country, bring you the best stories from our legend. Somebody sent me a message that you have interviewed Dikudi, interviewed Tobose. Are you waiting for my father to die before you come and interview? I felt bad. Okay. It's in Jos. And I told him, I said, listen, it's not like I don't want to come. I am practically scrapping the scraps to get this channel going. We're not where we can afford to do certain things. And to be very honest, even when we can afford it, we still will not be able to tell everybody's story. FIFA Plus have not been able to tell everybody's story. Sky Sports have not been able to tell everybody's story. Super Sports have not been able to tell everybody's story. But believe me, I can. And for every additional member or subscribers that we get, it's the motivation that says stay on and don't quit. So I'm on. Thank you very much for every new member that's joining us. God bless you. I really do appreciate. It means that you believe in what we're doing and you see yourself as part of it. That's why you become a member. Thank you very much. Tosi Luma, this says Man City versus Chelsea. Henry Maru says them go complain. Thank God Arteta no learn alone from Pep. He get touch of Jose Simeone and co. So Olubajide says, I just feel Man City players' ego was bruised. I remember no football pundit ever gave Arsenal a chance in all their 5 matches, especially with the North London Derby, Atalanta, and City matches. I agree with you. All of a sudden, now it's dark art. Is this one? Is that one? These people said Arsenal will lose at 3-point lane. They would lose at Atlanta, and then they will lose at City, and their season would implode. Now everybody's saying that they are disappointed. What are you disappointed in? That Arsenal did not lose in these 3 crucial games. They won 1 and draw the other 2, almost at the cups of winning. Lucky Ogale says the bottom line is that Arsenal has rattled Man City, and the English press, the progress of Arsenal will leave them with red face. That's what all this noise is about. The Larawaji just says, why should everybody play the Pep way? I blame the football world that copied him in doing what he feels works for him. That's what's making them feel too big. The Larawaji say Enzo has been doing well. Enzo way, but let's still see how it goes with him and Slot. Okay, Chelsea Liverpool. Okay, Chelsea Liverpool is the next game, right? I just think that people are underrating Enzo, and he does look like a guy who wants to prove a point. He won the championship last season. He's worked with Pep and imbued that character of winning. But beyond all of that, Chelsea have a history. That's why I keep saying that I'll be very foolish to banter Chelsea, because successful teams go through a tunnel and then they come out again better. Chelsea does not look to me like a bad team. One of the things that Enzo Maresca did this season that I love, started off, and it was the first coach in the recent years or in the Todd Boehly era who came in and make a statement. I don't want you guys, I want you guys. And so everybody know their position. And when some players were not sold, they were kept in the B team, and they told to fight their way through. And 2 perfect. And that Chelsea team was to me in my head as the genuine defenders. But hey, football can be funny. 2 defeat now and the story will change. But I'm worried about them. They are a team to look out for. Please click on the like buttons if you are still on this live. Okay. The Malabedi Brian says, help me tell Ijabo. Okay, I think I've read that one before. The Malabedi says, thanks for delivering my message, boss. Up Remo Stars. Arotorego says, they forget Jesus. Yes, they forgot scissors for 5 days in my mother's womb. Yes, I thought those were just ordinary stories. No, that's my mother's experience, okay? That's my mother's experience. Nasser Ibanga, I said the things that gives me joy when I listen to coaches speak and speak intelligently. Not when you ask coaches questions of tactics, they tell you, God, respect this man, Daniel Ogumodede. Yeah, great job he's doing. I think for me, he's a fantastic guy. He's one of those guys I like listening to. I like watching his team play as well. I appreciate the kind of football that he puts on the floor, on the floor for everybody to see. 360 Sports Management say Paul Scholes, the Manchester United legend, is disappointed with Arsenal. What happened to his former club? Why not focus on his former club over Sabi? I love that. I love the dark art of putting. Let's start using the word now. The dark art of putting that word in sarcastic as kung fu way. Thank you very much. Demola Abedi Brian say, I'm not disappointed at Arsenal at all, considering their record for doing well at the start of the season and end up not winning the league. I'm just patiently waiting for the return of Merino and Odegaard. So they said, Arsenal, they sweet my belly this season. No better time to wear the Canon badge. If Pekin write exam score 11 over 15, will anybody say that Pekin fail exam? Baba, mouth is meant for talking. Make them the talk, or they just run the mouth. Yes, Aroturego, our professor, says, Naso, one specialist at O'Hara almost killed my daddy in 2019. Now my mom begged me, if not, she for go start farm work. I was ready to go all the way to make sure a license was taken away. Somebody once said that doctors will make their mistake and their mistakes will be buried and they will still collect money for making mistake. Engineers will be buried with their mistake. Okay, if you're doing construction work and you not do well, you can be under the building and it will collapse on you. Tailors will make mistake and they would Let's not talk about Taylor today. Let's not talk about Taylor today so that people don't get angry. Because if you are out there and you have reached 20, 30, 40 years, Taylor never disappoint you. I'm not sure you're living on this earth. You're living somewhere else. That's just my own thinking. So all of they say, I feel this is our season. That is why pull him down syndrome voices on my darling Arsenal team is very high. Lucky Ogale says teams I support are Arsenal, Barca, and Rivers United this season. Okay, I thought it was Real Madrid. The line says Chelsea can be the dark horse. I think they may beat the pundits' expectation before the start of this season. Okay, let's say Chelsea for me has had a very easy start to the season. Their game against City showed that they don't have what it takes to go the long haul. Villa has more to offer than Chelsea and United. This Chelsea team, remember, they're not jello. Even Mikel Obina is on the apology side of town with Nicholas Jackson. Jackson is no longer dancing backslide. He's going forward. We are going, yes, I am. That's what they are doing. Chelsea are not here to build tents this time. They are going for the jugular. They are like what you say, whenever a predator is finding it more difficult to get it, then he begins to think that the world is going against it. That's the case with Man City, calling the game style dark heart. Thank you very much for that one. Although me say dark horse, that's how Antonio Conte started, and we felt maybe he had a chance, and he did it. Chelsea can be a deciding factor. Not all top 4 teams will be at Chelsea this season. The league still long. Precious Area says, boss, this your story is same in the banking system. You have to be more cautious of your colleagues than customers. Really? I didn't know about that one. Yeah. I mean, to be very honest, I was more cautious of the people that I work with. I was telling somebody the other day that this place that I stay is only one person, one of my former colleagues that have come to this house, and I'm not sure any one of them can call me, I want to come and visit you, and I'll let them come to my house. You know what? That's how, uncomfortable with the people that I worked with I am, and especially in the people in the programs department that I work with. Like, because I always felt like we're supposed to be team. It is supposed to be us against the world. But then you just know that your own teammate is sabotaging you, like sabotaging you emotionally. They're angry with Murphy for no reason, angry with Idafi for no reason. But guys, we pay the bills. We're the reason why you get paid. We come out, man, I work now. We were number 1. We left. We're 16 days apart. I left. 16 days later, Murphy left. He don't come to ground zero. Nothing happened. No bomb. No earthquake. He don't come to. It's not as if like 10 new sports stations coming. The same competition, the same league, everything. They've come from. Because the money bags are no longer there. The guys who make it happen, the guys who bring in the checks are no longer there. You know what it means to leave a station as group programs manager and go to another station where you don't get rank? You know what that means? To leave an army as a general and go there and go and become a sergeant in another army. You know what that means? Wow. Sean Lumabajide said I just was a furnace for you. No, it's not a furnace for me. Now your shine, they make us they run after you like the goods. They run after its love interest. It was meant to be a furnace, but it turned out to be a dark room, but there was no negative to print a beautiful picture. Like I always say, people say, it's good that it happened like this. Nah, it has made it like this. I was like, okay, couldn't it be, the story be like, okay, it's time for us to leave. I'm leaving to go start my own. But we still have this kind of relationship where the World Cup is coming, the AFCON is coming. I say, do you have anything that you're doing for AFCON or the World Cup? I said, yeah, I have something that I'm doing, but we'd like to have you as a guest on some of the big games. So I'm not bragging about it, but this is the truth. I don't think there's anybody who analyzes football the way I do. There are people who analyze football. I'm not arguing about it. Wouldn't that relationship would have been better for the ecosystem? You see, Carragher, Michael Richard does CBS. He still go to Sky Sports. He still go to TNT. He still goes to BBC. with Shera and Lineker. You see him with Kate Scott, now Kate Abdul Stone Scott, and Terry Henry and Jimmy Carragher and the rest. You see Jimmy. Can't we create that? Because listen, no matter how we explain this, something is not right in the black man structure of running business. Why not build a star and say, okay, this guy, you're good enough to go be on your space, right? But while you are there, we still keep the link so that we can always, guy, this disciple where you don't get now, we have this big game, we'll come and do it. Because those people, announce, I'm going to be on Real FM, so do. I'm going back home to my home. We cannot always be like Nigerian pastors. This is my year of new beginning. We cannot always have a new beginning all the time. It doesn't work. And it's killing the ecosystem. It's the reason why the sports ecosystem is not commercially viable. So for those people that all things work together for good, things could work together for better. Like the transition could be smoother, like better, not where we are right now, because we always be starting afresh. It doesn't work. Okay. The last one says, and the impressive thing is that these supposed matches were all away games for Arsenal. If I know Arsenal of old, pundits would have been made prophet by now, because all prediction would have happened. Exactly my point. So Babajide says, let's think this way. Assuming Arsenal hasn't come to the party this season, what will be the testimony of the so-called pundit? I want to say, Chief, I know hear you very well. The audio do somehow. Really, I think it's from your side. We should have refreshed because the show has actually come to an end. We passed the 1 hour mark. I have got an online meeting to get into. Somebody that I'm supposed to interview needs me to explain to him what I will want to do in the interview. So I need to call the person and have that conversation. So Wale Babajide says, Baba, I thought about you having this same replica of Brilla. I was thinking about it all through yesterday on my farm. Where is your farm there? I go do come take some lesson because I'm also trying to start a small farm, an indoor farm here. One of the rooms here, I want to do as farm. I need to know whether it go work or it not go work. I mean, I can't be living in the big house and just be using it for. I should be able to plant pepper and tomato and stop spending money on that one. Okay, 360 Football Management say, my boss, a black man views his colleagues everything as competition, while a white man colleague sees it as collaboration. Not everybody is supposed to be competition. At some point, okay, let me give you a good example. I built the sports lounge and I hosted it for 8 episodes, and then Bamiji started hosting. I look at Bamiji and I realize that Bamiji have a young and enterprising network of friends better than I do. And I called him one and I said, listen, guy, if I keep hosting this show will not make progress. I'm going to transfer the show to you. It's your, not my show. Now me get them on. Now me create the show. This is a show I created when I did Brill and I don't create Sports Lounge. Sports Lounge was supposed to be a show I suggested and they knock it down. I said, okay, let me go. And the idea for Sports Lounge at the time was that we would move on match days and take like Yinka, while we're doing football live, we'll take to different lounge. So those people will pay us for advertising their lounge. So Yinka and Overdose and so persons will be at this lounge, meet us there. While they are there, they'll be taking people's opinion. They'll be live on the radio while we're doing the studio. Well, hey, this sound did not make sense. And the idea was that let's do that so that we have like all of these beer company or these energy drink companies sponsor those segments. But hey, brought to you by this, brought to you by that. But it didn't work. So when I came in, I just decided to do it. But I realized that, this boy is bigger than me. It's bigger than me in terms of social network, social currency right now. And his generation is going forward. I said, you know what? Can you take the show and make it your own? And he was like, do I have to pay? I said, no. You don't need to pay me. Go make it your own. And he took the show. And I was like, this Aja is too far. They are moving from Aja. They are going to Yaba. So they want someone in the mainland. I said, okay, no problem. You have my blessings. I will always turn around for you. And they found a place at Johnny Rocket in VI where they were shooting. It was a struggle too. It's not easy. But he shelved his plan to relocate abroad. Today, that show, the Sports Lounge, is on DSTV. And not just that, it has grown and taken a life of its own. But guess what? I can always go and appear on the show. I can always call them to be part of my show. That's the collaboration. The show have created its own YouTube channel, its own Twitter, social media handle. It's taking a life of its own. I cannot hold a rope to it and say, no, you must not grow, you must not. You can't do that. It is wrong. In Nigeria, the ideology is that somebody is rich, they can never be wrong. No, you can be rich and be stupid. Like, be insecure while you are rich. And I don't know why rich people in Nigeria are always insecure. I don't understand that, right? But it's funny. Now, Sportsline is also creating other people. Joy Ojabulu, who now works with me, was introduced to me by Sportsline. You see how collaboration work? They've gone big, they've now brought in other people. Who is helping me do one or two things, came off Sportsline, and Dadaski and a host of other people. Let your proteges grow. They would in turn bring in the next generation of the superstars to you. The thing that you need, like 1,000 meters to reach, you now use 5 meters to reach because they've gone the other 95 meters and gotten it closer, and you just meet them easily. That's the way it works. But hey, in Nigeria is tough. It's tough. P-Man says it's really funny how the majority of Arsenal fans are. I have to agree first. I've been waiting for people to respond. P-Man says football is about winning, and one should play according to their strength. With the English media, what the English media are doing is the same reason why there's no longer fair in football, but mechanical. Finally, Olariwaju Somi says, please, are you prompted when there is an advert? Okay, no. It's you that gets to see the advert, not me. I don't get to see the advert. It's just you guys that are viewing. That's YouTube. That's their own back end setup. I'm not the one. I'm doing my show on their platform, and what they choose to do in terms of advertising to the audience, the community that I create, is their back end. So it's a two-phase. I have this dashboard where I stream on straight up. When they first started, it shows here that advert is running. I can skip it so that people don't get to see it. But then they stopped that and they decided, okay, they run it on their side, and it is inbuilt. You can't even stop it, to be very honest. When you stop it, your channel will suffer. P-Man says you can prevent the advert with YouTube Premium. Okay, that's true. I also have YouTube Premium. Probably that's why I don't get to see all the adverts and all that. Okay, so now it's time to come to the end of the show. I guess tomorrow I will put that account number in the community feed too. I will put the account number. So if you guys are in the community feed, just let's help somebody who really need help. And these days when people come for me with help, there's one thing I always say to people is there used to be a time where we have leftovers. These days there are no leftovers. Have you noticed that? If you're in Nigeria now, in your house, in your kitchen, in your washing sink, all those leftover food are no longer there because we have now come to a point where we cook what we can eat. We don't just cook for cooking sake anymore. We cook to the size of what we can eat, and we eat what we have, and we finish them. We lick the plate to see made in China. Okay? So it's hard not to get leftover, but sometimes when people are in need, I've been there many times in my life, so I know when people are in need and they are calling for help. Let's just try and help. It's raining heavily here. It's burning inside the studio. No NEPA lights, but hey, it's time to go. Thank you very much, everyone, for your time today, and God bless you all. For those new subscribers, thank you very much. Those of you who click on the like button, thank you very much. Those of you who show up on the comment section and put in comment, thank you very much. For our brother, Lucky Ogale, who's become a silver member, thank you very much. You're welcome. God bless you. Every one of you have a wonderful day ahead and be the very best of who God created you to be. My name is Edafi Matthias. You're going to love to call me the Elegbete on Sports. This has been the Sports Buffet on Elegbete TV Sports YouTube channel. We're going to be back again tomorrow. But until then, have for yourself a wonderful day. Salute!